Welcome to Launceston College Radio 87.8. No ads, no interruptions, and nothing but good times. It's finally Friday, and you're joining the studio with Maya, Sophia, Moona, and I'm Cooper here. Guys, how are we all feeling? All girls, rather.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you're only
welcome to the
guy
show.
today, Cooper. That's a nice change.
I'm all alone.
But yeah, it's good to be back in the studio. I've had a bit of a break off with production and
Yeah,
whatnot.
it's been massive. School pretty much shut down. It was, but it was really good. Call the production probably best I've seen, I think.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. But first up, what's the weather, Sophia?
I think Cooper has that actually.
All right.
Does anyone have the weather?
It's news to me, but weather here. Today's we got top of 12 degrees with showers, 60% chance. Tomorrow for your Saturday, it's highs of 11 degrees, 60% chance of showers as well. Sunday, just cloudy and 11 degrees. Maya, what are we playing up first? Today we got Bruno Mars Grenade.
Ooh, sounds
Good
like
song
a
to
good
get
one.
us off. Launceston College Radio, 87.8.
Welcome back to Launceston College Radio.
We're talking STEAM now, which was a big day yesterday here at the school, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics.
Yeah, it was a pretty big day here at the college. It took up all of the undercroft and the main hall. We had some guests come in from some of our feeder high schools. It was a pretty big event.
Yeah, we had 2 sessions, I think, in the morning and the afternoon. Day wrapped up around 2 o'clock. We had politicians come in. I think Peter Gutwin, a few other people came in to judge some of the stalls. So yeah, it was quite big, especially because we got some great science faculties here at Launceston College. So some great setups all around. Yeah, what was there? What did you guys see? Girls, see? Terrible habit.
It's so good. I'd say one of my personal favourites, apart from seeing a lot of the business ideas, being an ex-business student, was probably some of the cool science experiments going around, like the dry ice cream. That was,
Yes.
That was really good. Like, there goes my voice. But yeah, did you guys see anything else that you really liked?
Oh, I thought the animals were pretty cute. They had
Yeah.
a lot of rabbits and guinea pigs and chickens that we got to handle.
Yeah, they were good. They were so fluffy.
Yeah, I gotta love a fluffy bunny.
Aside from that, there was also some really cool food. Like you said, the dry ice cream. They had like a cupcake thing where you could make your own cup. You were meant to decorate the cupcake with lollies to make it like the mitosis of a cell or something.
Just the cell.
Just this. I have no. As you can tell, I have no clue what I'm talking about. That's why my lollies ended up just being splat on the cupcake in no order. But that was pretty cool.
But yeah, it's still a really good way to integrate science into, the wider school community rather than just the science students, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Got everyone involved. There was a lot on. They had that I'm not sure what it's called, the sludge thing where it gets sticky. Sophie, do
Yeah,
you know?
the slime, corn flour and water.
Yeah, that one. And
Yeah.
everyone was running in it.
Yeah, that was fun.
But also you're quite involved in science because you study
Biology, yeah.
And you were on a stall.
Yes.
there, yes.
And we got to perform dissections on sheep lungs and, well, not necessarily the lungs, but the whole system with the heart and the liver. And we got to show people what it's like when you breathe, so how your lungs work. We filled sheep lungs with oxygen to show how they expand. And it was really cool, and a lot of the primary schools really enjoyed it.
Yes, they had primary school kids as well in. We had Prospect, was it? Riverside.
And we had Queechy in with the F1s.
Queechy, yeah, they were at the F1s. That was really cool as well. They just... quite a lot of noise was coming from them every time a car went off. Woo! That was really cool. They also had... I was at the Clean and Green stall, which is a new kind of subcommittee of the SRC that they're doing here at college, trying to promote sustainable practices in the school. Follow us on Instagram, Clean and Green Committee, one word. Yeah, no, it was a really cool day. Do you guys have a favourite stall?
I quite like the Adopt the Plant because that's a great initiative just to kind of get more greenery, around our suburbs and our city. And I got to go home with some veggie seedlings.
Yeah, absolutely. They had that, just giving out free plants. Also, yeah, but while Sophie was there doing her biology thing, there was quite a bit of an incident there, which we will talk about next here on LCFM 87.8.
But first up, let's have another song. This is Billy Joel's Uptown Girl. Yeah, so welcome back to Finally Friday on LCFM on 87.8 with no ads, no interruptions, and nothing but good times.
True that, Maya. Before, when we had an attempt, we were trying to play our sweeper for the Launceston College Elsie's Bar and Cafe. which runs on Wednesdays from 10:30 till 11. Great food, great prices, generally great service. I had my friend Lily, worked there for a bit, and she always treats me poorly. But other than that, she was very nice to everyone. So really good food there, which I recommend you pop down. We're still in the studio with Sophia and Maya, and Moon is sitting back quietly, but Sophia's going to continue to talk about her stall at Steam Day, where she was blowing up lungs in front of people.
Yes, including Cooper himself.
I got a right scare. It was very cruel.
It was quite funny. So we blow up lungs to demonstrate how the lungs work, as I said before. And Cooper came to our stall, and we blew up a lung for him. But the person blowing it up blew it up so fast that, we had to pretend it was going to explode, right? Because you had to get the right reactions.
So they had this connected air pipe tube into the lung, and understandably, I got scared because it inflated really quick, like a giant balloon. And then Sophia just yells, "Don't! It's going to explode!" And she knew it wasn't going to explode.
I actually thought it was going to explode.
Seriously?
But then I pretended afterwards that I knew it wasn't going to explode.
Not cool. And then everyone jumped back. Lucky it didn't just pop off the air tube and like a balloon around the...
That would have been interesting. I wonder if that's ever happened before.
Or if it just explodes in your face.
Our teachers couldn't even tell us if it actually happened. They said
just nodded
it might
quietly,
explode, and then they left us with all the stuff.
That's a recipe for disaster.
And I couldn't tell if they were joking or not.
So for a bit of a reference, how big is a sheep's lung?
That's a hard one.
I don't know, like a ruler? Was it not quite like a 30 centimetre? I don't know, they were big. They were kind of...
Like one lung or the two of them
inflated
together?
or deflated?
Let's go like inflated. Like, are we looking like a football? Because if this is going to explode, how big of an explosion are we looking at?
It was probably the size of a small football each.
Damn.
Calm down, Maya. But speaking of, it was quite confronting actually, the stall itself, with seeing that right in front of you, because a lot of what we're used to is our meat just kind of comes, in a nice packet, looks great, tastes great. That's just kind of the way we're used to it. So we're kind of detached from the production of meat that we've come to expect in our society. I don't know. So what do you guys think about that? Because it's hard to believe that behind that delicious chicken nugget was a walking, breathing chicken that was happy and alive. Maybe not happy, alive though. But
yeah, like it's a question people have debated for years. How ethical is it? And it's a really hard one to answer. Like, if we look at the example of dogs, how comfortable would we be if Sophia was blowing up a dog's set of lungs instead of a sheep's? I reckon you'd get a lot of loud, angry opinions here at the college.
Yeah, it's weird how we kind of select what is acceptable, what's not. Apparently, a pig has like the same mental capacity as a small toddler at age like 2 or 3 or something. Apparently, they're really intelligent. Which it's quite confronting.
Have you ever read Animal Farm?
No, what is it? Book? Oh, it's a book.
Yeah, it's a book, and the
Who
pigs
by?
take
What's it
over
about?
the farm, and
Really?
Yeah,
It's a George Orwell, so it's a
Based on
very
communism.
heavy book.
yeah.
All right, I'll give it a read then. But yeah, speaking of lungs though, and blowing them up, you need quite a set of lungs and chops to pull off some of the vocals that were seen in Launceston College's production Jesus Christ Superstar, which we will talk about next year on LCFM 87.8.
But first up, let's give you a little taste of the musical. Here's Simon Zealots.
Welcome back to Launceston College Radio 87.8. No ads, no interruptions, nothing but good times. That was Simon Zealots from Jesus Christ Superstar, which was the production Launceston College amazingly pulled off just not even a week ago in theatres. Maya was heavily involved. She did a great job. She was head of props.
Yep.
Stressful.
Very.
Fun.
Extremely.
Awesome. I think I can speak for Sophia and myself when I say it was really good. Probably, best production I've seen. Which, is probably a bit controversial to say on air, but I really intense.
I've heard a few people say that as well.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it. Carl, my philosophy teacher, said best production he's seen. And he secretly said he wasn't a fan of some of the Launceston College productions, but Jesus Christ, he said was great.
Well, yeah, I suppose a lot of that's in part to the direction that Shane, the director, and the other, teaching staff took to it. It's a lot more political than, classic tellings. It's set in a modern setting on the back of another economic crisis. So if you didn't see the show, you've really missed out on a great interpretation of it.
Yeah, it really stood out in that respect because it was quite individual, the way their modern take on it. They also had kind of the ending. They didn't have any, I'm not sure what the technical theatre term, but they didn't have any music when the cast walked out and bowed and how it ended. In the original Jesus Christ, he was resurrected, right? Is he resurrected?
That's if you're going into the Bible story. If you're talking about just from the musical, it just ends there.
Okay. Do they normally do music at the end of the normal?
In the bows?
Yeah.
I
The standard kind of take on it.
I suppose it differs from version to version, but generally from the soundtracks I've listened to, they don't include the bows, so...
Oh, okay.
And I've never seen it live before, so I couldn't tell you, Cooper.
Oh, okay. Well, it left quite a big impact the way it just kind of ended.
Yeah.
Kind of left you thinking a bit. Yeah.
well,
On your role. Sorry, yeah.
No, I was going to say, questions for you guys. What was your favourite scene?
Oh, jeez.
Personally, it was probably the trial by Pilate, especially with the whipping of Jesus Christ as played by Harrison Collis Oates.
Yes,
Yeah.
Harrison did a fantastic job. Also standouts, I'd say Moira.
Yeah, Moira Stewart, she blew me away as Pilate. I honestly don't think I can listen back to another male do the role because
Her voice was amazing.
Yeah,
she's
she's
one of
kind
those
of the-
natural, just amazing voices.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think she's iconic Pilate now.
Yeah, for sure. That was great. But also, as head of props, you were heavily involved in it. Key things, you made the crown of thorns, which Jesus wore. Blood came out. It was really real. Looked great. The cuffs that he was put in.
Yep.
All you. What was it like working on there so heavily? Like you said, stressful, extremely fun.
I'd say the best part was the collaboration with the actors. Like, as an example, Cade Renshaw, who I worked with on The Whip, just having those great conversations about, how big do we want it? What's the feel? How do you want to move with it? And just even seeing the actors, experience. Cade was learning whipping techniques and, it was a great collaboration to work with these actors to get the props to both a realistic standard, but also, in a way that suits their character, such as, the type of phone Caiaphas would have. He wanted it to be small, like a little burner phone, rather than, an iPhone. So it's just little things like that really made the job special for me.
Absolutely. And in our media class, a lot of people were involved. We had Shemaiah upstairs. He had a key role. So did Alistair. He was deputy to stage management.
Yep.
So great work from him. And it was really good to see.
And Georgia.
Yeah,
Yes,
Georgia
Georgia.
Culpepper's
She was flipping
fearless
around.
girl.
Oh my God. Some of the people, the dancers just flipping around on stage and not a single mistake. So it's crazy.
Absolutely amazing job by all the cast. So it's a lot to top next year. But yeah, I suppose
high standards for sure.
Yeah, I
Really high
suppose
standards.
the production crew have just got to have a little bit of faith in their next ensemble. So here's George Michael's Faith. You're listening to LCFM on 87.8 with no ads, no interruptions, and nothing but good times. So if we thought the LC production was just a little bit political, let's talk about what's going on politically here in Australia.
Yeah,
Cooper?
I mean, it's been quite a big story in the media currently, but it's Crossbench Senator Fraser Anning's use of the term final solution to immigration policy, obviously saying that's got connotations to Nazi Germany and the extermination of Jewish people. He said to ban Muslims from settling in the country, and he wants to create a plebiscite to return European-only immigration in the country. Obviously, hugely controversial and, in my opinion, unacceptable in Australia. Only good thing that has come of this is that Bill Shorten, Labor leader, and Malcolm Turnbull have come together and shaken hands to actually say that it's unacceptable and they don't support discriminatory immigration policies and that there's no place for it in Australia.
And, you know, that puts a lot of faith in the Australian people, seeing that, you know, our two major political parties, you know, agree on something that's, you know, really core to what Australia is about. You know, we're a nation built on immigration, essentially.
Yeah, we're one of the most multicultural countries in the world. I was in Melbourne recently, and I could not believe it. Walking down the street, I heard almost 4 or 5 different languages in like the space of 3 or 4 minutes. You know, I think it was Mandarin, Spanish, I don't know, tons of different languages, really multicultural, awesome. And you, in a country so full of multicultural people, you just can't say things like that.
Yeah.
But it's great to see that our leading politicians come together and say that it's unacceptable. I don't know, what do you think, Sophia?
No, I agree. I think that we have to be very careful about what we say about other kinds of other races because, yeah, as you said, we are definitely a multicultural nation. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and it's good here in the studio that, you know, the 4 of us, we all come from very, you know, multicultural backgrounds, so the fact that we also agree, you know, it's good seeing that, you know, the youth even can see, you know,
absolutely,
what's...
next generation.
Yeah, that we still have this sense to, you know what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that it's against a particular group. He's labelled Muslims. You can't... it just perpetuates that negative connotation people have, especially in the media, which is terrible for it. And then they spread lies, things like the African gang, things like that. Complete lies and fabrications, not true at all. But it's good to see that political leaders come together, and youth of today obviously deeply against it. And I think we're looking for a more collaborative, open society to all cultures and people.
Which is... it's just great.
But yeah, speaking of getting to know people, 2 new people in the studio today, Sophia and Muna. Come on, 30 seconds. We want to hear everything about you. They're both shaking their heads. Sophia, go. 30 seconds.
Oh, it's very difficult.
Anything. Where do you go?
Tell you
What do you
about
like
me
to
in
do?
30 seconds.
Yep. Favourite food, anything.
Oh, look, well...
Time's ticking.
Well, I've done a bit of travelling in my time. If you want to know something about me, probably one of my favourite things that I've ever done is go with a trip to West Timor in 2016 with a lot of my friends, and it was really eye-opening for me to go on a trip like that and work with people and orphanages and schools and different culture, and it was pretty amazing.
And you also said to us earlier that, there was a little incident, food-related one, that also relates to one of the topics we talked about earlier today. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, you definitely, they give you the whole culture, so that includes food, and they did in fact feed us unique foods that you wouldn't normally find in Australia, like dog and frog. Now, you're probably thinking that's pretty gross, and yeah, it was, but they just put so much spices in their foods that you don't even really taste it, but it is kind of disturbing knowing that you're eating something that you normally wouldn't.
Yeah, you know, Fluffy, the neighbour's dog.
Here in Australia, it's not done because dogs are pets, but in Timor they are different, the dogs. And yeah,
People are horrified and that we eat kangaroo. Anyone, if I've ever talked to anyone who's not from the country here, they're like, "Oh, you eat kangaroo." So it's the same everywhere.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Muna, no, she's adamantly shaking her head, but she's given me a list. Bang, Muna's 30-second info. Likes chicken nuggets. Apparently she missed our memo on the animal thing. She's year 11 this year. Favourite country is France, and her favourite city in France is Paris, and she wants to go to America. Muna, why? Why America?
Because I like
Chicken nuggets.
America's different from Australia, and it's a lot more bigger, and it's got more opportunities than in Australia if I was to move to America.
Yeah, absolutely. And they would have lots of chicken nuggets there.
Yeah,
Tick
definitely.
that box.
Yeah.
Bonus fact about Muna, she chose the song that's next on our playlist. This is Smash Mouth with All Star. You're listening to LCFM on 87.8. No ads, no interruptions, and nothing good times, but a few sign-offs. So, Cooper?
Yeah, thanks for joining us live in the studio. Everyone, it's finally Friday. Have a great, happy, safe weekend.
Mm.
Huge thanks to Muna and Sophia for filling in. We had media presentations today, and for some reason half the class isn't here. I don't know if there's any correlation, but it's possible. Yeah, Maya?
Yeah, if you're looking for something to do around town this weekend, it's still International Science Week, so head down to the museum. I know they've got a few activities on, and there might be some other bits and bobs around town.
Absolutely, but from the team at LCFM, have a safe, happy weekend. This is Starship. We built this city.